went to New York 44 years ago with $300 in my pocket to study at Parsons School of Design. I had to get a part-time job immediately to pay for living expenses. I was working and going to college full-time, live on 2 to 3 hours of sleep for 2 years. Well, I'm Zang Toi, a fashion designer from Malaysia, but based in New York City. And New York City has been home for the last 44 years. And I was very fortunate enough to go to New York 44 years ago and now living the American dream and establish my own house, Zang Toi, for 36 years ago. I was born and raised in Kuala Krai, Kelantan. My parents owned a little grocery store and we live above the grocery store, but my parents works very, very hard to save every penny they have for our educations. And I was sent to Toronto, Canada 46 years ago to do my grade 13. And then after that, I applied for fashion design at Parsons School of Design and was very lucky to get accepted. And I went to New York 44 years ago with $300 in my pocket to study at Parsons School of Design. And obviously my parents don't have a lot of money, so I had to get a part-time job immediately to pay for living expenses. And then from there, from the one part-time job turned into a full-time job. And I literally finished 4-year program in 3 years. And the last 2 years, I was working and going to college full-time, live on 2 to 3 hours of sleep for 2 years, and then continue on working for my old boss, Mary J. Marcasiano, for a total of 8 years, and then established and came out and with my own collection in 1989 with a lucky 13 pieces in the collection. The reason the lucky 13 is my parent grocery store address is number 13, so I always consider that my lucky number. So I launched the very first collection with 13 pieces, lucky 13 pieces in 1989, resort collection, and it's unheard of even still today. The very first one dress from the very first collection was featured by Anna Wintour of Vogue magazine for the November issue. I was in business for all of 3 months, and I thought it happened to every designer. I didn't realize how lucky I was to have a dress featured in Vogue after just launching for 3 months later. So that is the beginning of the American dream.
Wow. So from there to now,
yeah.
Can you highlight most important part or something that you always remember?
Well, I think the highlight along the way, I think being discovered and championed, being the first Asian designer championed by the legendary Anna Wintour of Vogue magazine is one of the first highlight of my career. Not only to be featured in the Vogue when I'm in business for all 3 months, and then when I launched a second collection spring 1990, and Anna was working on a very big story called The New Faces of the 90s, 4 of her favorite American designer, young American designer, and I launched that spring collection in November 1989, but the story already was shot and put in back by October. But when Anna saw my second collection, she decided to yank out one of the designers for the story and replace me with it. It was like a movie. I was in business for 3 months, and within 24 hours, they need to photograph me, interview me, and photograph the collection and do a big sketch for the Vogue magazine. Then another 3 months later, in February issue, the big March issue, when I received the early copy of Vogue magazine, not only I was selected by Anna Wintour to be one of the 4 new faces of the 90s, the outfit that they photographed was on the opening page of the story. So for a young Malaysian designer to be one of the 4 American designers to be featured by Vogue, so that basically cemented my reputation in the fashion industry. Thanks to Anna, she was the one who put me on the fashion map worldwide. And if it's good enough for Vogue magazine, then the next 5 years literally was covered by everybody.
Many Malaysians actually dream of making it, out there, but they fear failure sometimes. So what give you that courage to take the leap? And what's your advice?
My story is very unlucky because, like I say again, with the love from my family, it gave me the confidence that I didn't even know I have. But the key thing is that just you have to work very, very hard. Anything can happen. Don't be afraid. But I think the key thing is to always stay true to yourself. Never pretend to be someone you're not. Because once you pretend to be someone you're not, the smart people see it right through. You always have to stay authentic and stay true to yourself, and people will embrace you. And with a lot of hard work, like once in New York for 44 years, trying to study as a fashion student and started my own business, I always say to myself, true to myself, always do what I believe is right for me. I never try to be the next Calvin Klein or the next Yves Saint Laurent or Chanel. I want to be Zang Toi. And if you stay true to yourself and work extremely hard and never pretend to be somebody else you're not.